You're alive today because your ancestors survived them. Plagues so devastating they erased entire cities. Diseases that turned the living into the dying overnight. Outbreaks that killed more people than every war in history combined. This is the story of the worst epidemics humanity has ever faced. And the most terrifying part? Every single one of them could happen again. Before we begin, like and subscribe for more dark history, science, and cosmic horror. Number 10. The Plague of Athens. 430 BC. It began without warning. In the middle of a war between Athens and Sparta, a mysterious disease appeared inside the city walls of Athens. Ancient historian Thucydides, who survived it, described it with horrifying detail: violent fevers, inflamed eyes, a bloody throat, uncontrollable vomiting, and skin so hot it could barely be touched. People died within days, some within hours. The plague killed an estimated 75,000 to 100,000 people, nearly a quarter of Athens' population. It killed their greatest general. It may have changed the outcome of the entire war. And to this day, scientists still cannot agree on exactly what it was. Number 9. The Antonine Plague. 165 AD. The Roman Empire was at its peak, the most powerful civilization on Earth. Then the soldiers came home. Roman troops returning from a campaign in Mesopotamia brought back an invisible passenger. Within months, the disease had spread across the empire from Syria to Britain. For 15 years, it ravaged the Roman world, killing an estimated 5 million people. Historians believe it was smallpox, one of the first major recorded outbreaks in history. The Roman Empire never fully recovered from it. Number 8. The Plague of Justinian. 541 AD. For the first time in history, a plague went truly global. Starting in Egypt and spreading along trade routes, the plague of Justinian reached Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, in 541 AD. At its peak, the city was losing 5,000 people every single day. Emperor Justinian himself caught it, though he survived. His empire did not fully recover, caused by the same bacteria behind the Black Death, Yersinia pestis. This outbreak may have killed 25 to 50 million people, cutting the world's population by as much as 13%. Some historians believe it helped bring about the collapse of the ancient world. Number 7. The Black Death. October 1347. No epidemic in human history comes close to the Black Death. It arrived in Sicily in October 1347, carried by trading ships from the Black Sea. Sailors on the docks described men covered in black, oozing swellings the size of eggs on their armpits, groins, and necks. Those who looked at it in the morning were dead by nightfall. Within 4 years, the plague had swept across Europe, North Africa, and Asia. The death toll was catastrophic, between 75 and 200 million people killed. In some cities, half the population was gone within months. Bodies piled in the streets faster than the living could bury them. Europe lost between 30 and 60% of its entire population. The social, economic, and psychological consequences reshaped civilization itself. It ended feudalism. It triggered religious upheaval. It changed medicine, art, and literature forever. The Black Death remains, to this day, the single deadliest pandemic in recorded human history. Number 6. The Smallpox Conquest. 1500s. This one didn't just kill millions. It erased civilizations. When European colonizers arrived in the Americas in the 1500s, they brought smallpox with them. Indigenous populations had no immunity whatsoever. The results were beyond catastrophic. In Mexico, the Aztec Empire, tens of millions strong, was devastated. In some regions, up to 90% of the native population was wiped out within a century. In North America, epidemic after epidemic rolled through indigenous communities before European settlers even arrived in many areas. Some historians estimate that smallpox and other diseases killed as many as 56 million people in the Americas, more than the entire population of England, France, Spain, and Portugal combined at the time. It was the greatest demographic catastrophe in human history. Number 5. The third cholera pandemic. 1852. Cholera is not a subtle disease. You feel fine. Then you get diarrhea. Then uncontrollable vomiting. Then your body simply floods itself out. People could be healthy in the morning and dead by nightfall. There were 7 major cholera pandemics. The third, from 1852 to 1860, was the deadliest of them all, claiming over 1 million lives across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. But out of the horror came a breakthrough. In 1854, a London physician named John Snow mapped the deaths in a single neighborhood and traced them to a contaminated water pump on Broad Street. It was one of the most important moments in the history of medicine, the birth of modern epidemiology, the science that protects us from pandemics today. Cholera changed how humans understand disease forever. Number 4. The 1918 Spanish flu. The year is 1918. World War I is almost over. 500 million people are about to get sick. The Spanish flu infected roughly 1/3 of the entire world's population, 500 million people. It killed at least 50 million. Some estimates put the death toll as high as 100 million. In the United States alone, 675,000 died, and life expectancy dropped by 12 years in a single year. But here is what made it truly terrifying. It didn't kill the elderly, as flu usually does. This virus killed the young and the healthy, men and women in their 20s and 30s. Their own immune systems overreacted and tore their lungs apart from the inside. There were no antibiotics, no antivirals, no vaccines. Doctors were powerless. And governments, desperate to maintain wartime morale, censored the news, allowing the disease to spread unchecked. In some cities, coffin makers ran out of wood. People were buried in mass graves. The 1918 flu remains the deadliest pandemic of the modern era. Number 3. HIV and AIDS. Year 1981 to present. In 1981, doctors in Los Angeles noticed something strange. Young, otherwise healthy men were dying of a rare pneumonia. The immune systems of these patients had simply collapsed. Nobody knew why. Within years, a global pandemic was underway. HIV, the human immunodeficiency virus, attacks and destroys the cells that protect the body. Without treatment, it progresses to AIDS, leaving its host unable to fight even the most basic infections. By the time the world understood what it was dealing with, the disease had spread to every continent. To date, HIV and AIDS have killed between 36 and 48 million people. Around 40 million people are currently living with HIV today. For decades, a diagnosis was a death sentence. Stigma and silence fueled the epidemic. Governments were slow to act. Communities were devastated. Today, antiretroviral drugs have transformed HIV into a manageable condition. But the epidemic is not over, and the battle was long, painful, and scarred by political failure. Number 2. The 1918 Spanish flu taught us lessons we forgot. COVID-19 reminded us. In December 2019, a cluster of unusual pneumonia cases appeared in Wuhan, China. Within 3 months, the World Health Organization declared a global pandemic. COVID-19, caused by the coronavirus SARS-CoV-2, spread faster than any disease in modern recorded history, carried around the world by air travel before most governments had even begun to respond. Official death tolls exceeded 7 million. Credible excess mortality estimates, accounting for unreported deaths, place the true toll between 19 and 36 million people. It shut down the entire world economy. It overwhelmed hospitals on every continent. It produced vaccines in record time, under 12 months, a scientific achievement without precedent, and then watched those vaccines become political battlegrounds. COVID-19 did not approach the death toll of the worst pandemics in history. But it showed a modern, connected, technologically advanced civilization exactly how vulnerable it still is. Number 1. The Black Death and the one that is coming. We keep returning to the Black Death because it is the benchmark. The worst. The one that killed up to 200 million in a world of 450 million people. But here's what we do not talk about. In 1918, it took 2 years for the flu to circle the world. Today, a pathogen can reach any city on Earth within 36 hours, before symptoms even appear. We live more closely together, in denser cities, connected by hundreds of thousands of daily flights. We have antibiotic resistance, making bacterial diseases harder to treat. We have wildlife habitats shrinking, pushing animals and humans together and increasing the chance of the next spillover event. Epidemiologists do not ask if another major pandemic will happen. They ask when. The history of our species is a history of survival against odds that should have destroyed us again and again. The Black Death killed half of Europe. We rebuilt. The 1918 flu infected 1 in 3 humans alive. We survived. But survival is not guaranteed. And the lesson of every epidemic on this list is the same. The virus does not know your name. It does not care about your borders, your politics, or your beliefs. It only needs a host. If you found this journey through history worth watching, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to know. Because history, when it is forgotten, has a habit of repeating itself.